Thank you for joining us today at Homestead for Life. Today we are making minestrone soup. So we've got our pot started already. We've got our carrots, celery, and onions in the pot. So we're going to let those cook until they start to get a little translucent, and then we're going to add in all the other goodies. Let's get going. All right, so the next things we're going to add are a can of spaghetti sauce. So this is the spaghetti sauce I canned. Don't quite remember, should check the date on the can, but earlier this year, I think. We're using Great Northern beans, but whatever beans you want. Kind of the crazy thing with minestrone soup. You throw whatever the heck you want in there. It is really just a vegetable soup and a tomato base. So then we've got our diced tomatoes. So two of the big tubs of diced tomatoes. And then your seasonal vegetables. Oh, so I've got okra, I've got potatoes, I've got two different kinds of summer squash in here. Yep, that was it. So we're going to let all this cook down. So I need a little bit more liquid to get that cooking. So we're going to add some of our vegetable broth. If you have any kind of stock, you can use that instead. We don't need a lot of it yet. We'll add more later. But get this all mixed up and give this about 15-20 minutes to start just slightly softening our vegetables. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the liquids now. So we're going to finish adding our broths. When we can this, we need it to be 50% of the vegetables, the solids, and 50% liquids. So I only had one thing of vegetable broth, so chicken broth it is. Probably would have been better with beef, but that's okay. For a vegetable soup, probably we shouldn't have either one. But minestrone soup is very much a work with what you got kind of soup. And then we're going to add some seasonings to taste. So whatever your preference is. My go-to is going to be Italian seasoning. I'm going to add some minced garlic. I'm going to add some pepper, some basil, things like that. So here we go. So we've added our seasonings in. We've added our garlic, our Italian seasonings, our parsley, our thyme, salt, pepper to taste. Remember when you're adding your seasonings that once you can it, they get a little supercharged. So go a little easier than you normally would. But so that is all heating up and softening the vegetables a little bit. Let's get our cans ready. So we've added 8 cups of water to our canner, and we have added about a cup in each of our 4 quarts. Okay, so we are just going to turn this on slow cook and start to get that all heated up while we wait for our soup to be ready. But while that's going, I need to share with you this amazing caddy my husband and I built. So it has come out, I mean, obviously it's not absolutely perfect. I'm sure we could do plenty of things better, but it's working perfectly for the function. So it's holding my rings. So I've got all my regular mouth rings, my wide mouth jarred rings, my canning lids. So my used lids, I will use those over and over again on things that are not pressure canned, but on jars that I'm just using to store things. So if I'm putting rice or sugar or dry things out of the freeze dryer that I'm just vacuum sealing, I will use the used lids if they're not too dented up. But so I've got them labeled, and this is amazing. So much better than the box of miscellaneous lids and rings and things all thrown hodgepodge together. So I just wanted to share this amazing thing that you can absolutely make at home. Took us maybe about an hour to put it all together, and then of course you're waiting for the glue to dry, and then staining and sealing and all that fun stuff. But for the most part, it was not too bad. But definitely proud of it. Really excited. It has already made my life easier and more organized. So had to share. So we've got our jars going. We've got our jars getting heated up. We've got our lids. We've got our rings. We've got our tools for when we are ready to pour our soup into the jars. So now we just wait for the soup to be ready. All right, so we are going to stop our timer here. So it's had about 30 minutes to slow cook, heat up. The water's heated. The jars are heated. So we're going to carefully pour out our liquids and set our jars up. You can fit 4 quarts in the Carey and Nesco canners. I'm pretty sure we've got more than that in this pot. So we are going to have a couple loads to do, maybe just one batch and then some dinner and leftovers for the rest of the week. We'll see. But we will get one load done tonight for sure. So if you have enough for multiple batches and you're sticking with the Carey canner, because obviously I could have used my big beast canner and done more than 4 jars at a time. The only real downside to the Carey is how many cans you can do at once. To do the rest of this again later, you would have to reheat your soup back up, heat all your jars back up, all the same things to hot pack it. All right, canning our soup. So again, recipe-wise, please don't worry too much about the recipe, because what we are really worried about with minestrone soup is pretty much just flavor and vegetables. It's whatever is seasonal, whatever you got going on at the time. So first we're going to strain out. We've got our strained spoon and just put the solids in. We want to fill the jars halfway with solids. And then we're going to fill the other half with just liquids. So we'll get our solids first. Just a little bit more in that one. And we're going to leave 1 inch of head space in each of our jars. Oh, got some nice color mixes in here with the different squashes and okra and tomatoes. It'll be a pretty soup. And then with the garlic and onions and thyme and parsley and salt and pepper and Italian seasonings, we should have some good flavor too. On top of course, the vegetable seasonings, or flavor from the vegetables getting into the soup. So the squash that I used are scallop squash and Zappolito, which probably no one's heard of. I got the seeds from rareseeds.com or Baker Creek Seeds. Same company. Not sure why the website's different. They are my favorite seed company. They have an amazing germination rate. They have really weird stuff, and a lot of things are purple. Don't judge me. I like my purple vegetables, purple anything. But they've got a lot of options, a really extensive catalog. You can get the catalog for free, but Zappolito I've never heard of. The skin is a little thicker, so it holds up well against squash bugs here locally, because here in Florida, the squash bugs come out, and if you don't plant early, you don't get a harvest. Between the vine borers and whatever the other squash bugs are called, they will devour your harvest. But not the Zappolito. They will get your patty pan squashes, your scallop squashes, but plant early. But those are my 2 favorite squashes, so I strongly suggest them. So now we're just filling up our jars the other half of the way. So this is going to leave your soup looking a little liquidy, right? So typically for my soups, you don't want to put your pasta, you don't want to cook your pasta and can it. I know that's how you buy it from the grocery store. But you would make your pasta and add it later. So with the soup, because you have to have that balance point with your liquids, you can just cook it in your soup. And that the starches and everything from your pasta will thicken it up. You can also add rice to thicken it up, whatever your preference is, to each their own, right? look online. You are not going to find just one recipe for how to make minestrone soup. You're going to find a gazillion different recipes because everyone does it differently. And that's fine. Find one that you like and roll with it. We have our jars filled up, so we're still going to take our spatula, get all the air bubbles out, make sure that we've got 1 inch of head space. Add a little bit more if we need to, but just make sure we've got that head space there. And this one looks a little low, and now that we've got some air bubbles out, it's a little lower. So we're going to add just a little bit more there. Some liquid and some veggies adding in there. Sorry. All right, we're going to check them all. Awesome. All right. So next step is we are going to wipe our rims with our vinegar. Make sure there's no particles, no food, no broth on the rims of the jars so that they get a nice good seal. Alrighty. And where did my lids go? Hiding behind the hot pot. All right. So I still have half a pot of soup here. So gonna need that in a second. All right. Carefully finger tighten your jars. Just remember everything's hot. Everything's hot. All right. Now for pints, we are going to pressure can these for 75 minutes. So we're going to carefully load up our canner. Make sure your rack is in the bottom of the canner. Okay, my bad. So quarts, 75 minutes for quarts. If you do pints, it's only 60 minutes. So we're all loaded up. It's on exhaust. We are going to hit high, and we're going to add our time to, I can't actually see this far around it. Oh my goodness. 75 and start. Okay, so once it gets up to the right temperature and starts steaming and bubbling and boiling, it's going to start beeping at you, and it's going to give you about 10 minutes, a 10-minute countdown timer to switch this from exhaust to airtight. Then once it gets to the perfect pressure, then your timer starts. So we'll be back in probably about 30 minutes when that happens. All right, so our countdown is down to E2, so we are going to switch this to airtight. And then once it builds the appropriate amount of pressure, our countdown is going to start. So that usually only takes a couple minutes. So in another 77, 78 minutes, our timer will go off and we'll come back and unplug it. After you unplug it, you leave it for an hour. We're going to leave it overnight and go to sleep. And then we'll take our jars out and check them in the morning. Our timer's up, so we are going to unplug the canner and call it a night. We will check it out again in the morning. It's the next day, so now we get to check our cans, make sure everything's sealed up tight, and how we're doing here. They are all sealed. Beautiful. They are still pretty warm. So we're still going to put them on our cooling rack here. But that's it. That is minestrone soup. Really not a whole lot to it. Throw all the vegetables, all the things, all the seasonings. A little easy on the seasonings because, again, canning is going to supercharge them. 50-50 on solids and liquids in your jars. 1 inch headspace. And for quarts, 75 minutes. For pints, 60. And that's it. We've got our minestrone soup. Thanks for joining us at Homestead for Life. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe to our channel.